was a judge in Michigan by the name of Wade McCree. He was the Wayne Circuit judge, and he has been suspended without pay for the next 6 years. The reason why that happened is because when he was listening to a child support case, he was having a sexual affair with the wife while he was listening to the case. Now, he ruled in the woman's favor. The man had to pay a significant amount of child support. But then it turns out that the husband in the case, Robert King, found out about their relationship and decided that he wanted to sue the judge in a federal civil rights case. Now, it turns out that the court has decided that the judge has judicial immunity and he will not have to face any charges, even though he has been suspended without pay for the next 6 years. Now, while he was listening to their case, apparently not only was he having sex with the woman, he was also sending her sex while the case was being heard. And in the past, he got in trouble because he was sending shirtless photos of himself to a female bailiff.
So the bailiff is different. He was shirtless for another reason. Now, in this particular case, he would sometimes take the woman who was involved in the case back to his chambers to get into her chamber.
Yep.
Okay. And then as he's sitting on the court, proceedings in the case, he'd be sexting the woman in the case. I mean, that takes some balls. It really does.
Literally.
Yeah. So now he's, don't get him wrong. The case is a different issue, right? That case, obviously, that guy had a huge bias. You're going to get a new judge, yada, yada, right? But what they're saying is you can't then also sue him in federal court to get damages.
Right.
Now, I don't agree with that ruling either.
Neither do I. It's crazy to say that judicial immunity applies in this case. This was the judge hearing the particular case and having a sexual relationship that's clearly going to bias him during the hearings and stuff. It's crazy to me that he's not going to face any real consequences. Yes, he's been suspended for 6 years with no pay, but how do you say that he is immune from any type of lawsuit? He shouldn't be immune from lawsuits.
So they say that personal bias alone of a judge, when not serving in a judicial function, does not create a due process violation. Now, okay, so understand what that means. They're saying, look, when he was banging your wife, he wasn't acting as a judge at that particular time.
That's ridiculous.
But obviously that affected what he did inside the courtroom later. So, I mean, would he have to be banging her in the courtroom for it to be a violation, a due process violation? Of course it's a due process violation. Yeah. You didn't give the guy due process in court because you were banging his wife outside of court.
It's amazing to me that he can't be sued under judicial immunity. I mean, it happened during the case. If it happened afterwards, I mean, it would still be kind of weird and shady, right? But it happened while he was hearing the case. He's sending her racy messages. He's having sex with her in his chambers. I can't imagine that they would rule in this way, but they did.
You know, once again, it's ironic that they talk about bias here, right? Because it's a bunch of judges saying, you can't sue judges for what they do in the court.
Yeah, they're looking out for one another.
Yeah, well, isn't that convenient? Because here's who doesn't want to get sued. Those judges.
And by the way, he got in trouble in 2 separate cases. The first one involving him sending racy text messages to a female bailiff, and then now this case. He got a 6-year suspension, unpaid, right? And I'm sure that's going to totally cripple his career. But I would make the argument that he should never be allowed to be a judge again. Is that crazy?
No, that's not crazy. I mean, when you continue to judge a case where you obviously have an intimate relationship with one of the people involved, and the case is about child custody, what do you think? He might have fairly said, you know what, though? To be fair, she is kind of a pain in the ass. You get the kids. Okay, I don't think that's the way it would have gone down. It's as egregious a violation of your duty as a judge as I can imagine. So if that doesn't get you thrown out of being a judge forever, I don't know what would.